Opening the bowling for the ITEC Knights from the Loch Logan end is Sitambile Langa. Here we go. First ball of the CSA T20 challenge. As Langa takes it across from Sikakune straight to the keeper, and from the very first ball, it's a good pace, good bounce, even bounce. It looks good for run scoring today here in Bloemfontein. The ITEC Knights, of course, they need to win 2 more matches in this T20 challenge to be guaranteed of promotion to Division 1, as Langa takes it across from Sikakune again, and another dot here inside the first over. As I was saying, if the ITEC Knights win 2 more matches in this Division 2 T20 challenge, they will be guaranteed promotion back up to Division 1, which is very exciting for the ITEC Knights, and a great sign of the culture and the hard work that has been put in this season. Sikakune on strike here. Field being set here is a third man in a deep square. That's pretty regulation, as Langa, he's going to bowl his third ball from the Loch Logan end. Sikakune on strike. Hard length, and again taken across him. Sikakune finding it hard to get bat on ball here, and at the start there's a slip in play, and Langa keeps on taking it across from Sikakune. There's a vacant mid-wicket area, and the cover side is the offside of the field is packed with cover fielders. Langa, 4th ball from the Loch Logan end. Sikakune on strike, he takes it across from him again, and then it was a play and miss, harsh white call, you would think, and that gets the score going for the Eastern Storm. Eastern Storm, they are off a loss against the Northern Cape Heat, and also as is the Knights, who lost here on Sunday against a very impressive Limpopo team who defended a score of 176. The general feel was that was maybe 15 runs above par, as Langa comes in from the Loch Logan end, and another wide signalled. 176 was posted by Limpopo here on Sunday at the Mangaung Oval, and the general feel was that it was 15 runs over par and too much, and with their impressive bowling display, they restricted the Knights, and the Knights fell 20 runs short of that target. Hard leg from Langa, no run to Sikakune. Yeah, it's always difficult to say what a par score here is at Mangaung Oval, as it is a massive playing area with massive boundaries. That makes it difficult to defend the score, but if you've got enough runs on in the afternoon, the wicket does tend to slow down a bit, and if you can take pace off effectively, force the batters to hit to the big boundaries, you can defend the score here, as Limpopo shown on Sunday, as Langa bowled a well-directed bouncer. Sikakune, he's struggling to get bat on ball, already faced 5 dots here in the first over. Sikakune, he's struggling to get off strike, as this is not a bad start by the Knights. The Eastern Storm 2 runs without loss in the first over. The Eastern Storm, they would look to score most of their runs here in the first 6 overs, which is just a mandatory power play. Mandatory power play, of course, only 2 fielders allowed outside the ring. As Langa bowls the last ball of the 6th over again, Sikakune, he's not finding his rhythm, and that's a good start from the Knights. Not the start the Eastern Storm was looking for, but nonetheless, as I was saying, you would like to try and score your runs here in the first 6 overs, as the ball comes onto the bat while it's hard and new here at Mangaung Oval. The trick always becomes batting against the older and softer ball in the middle when the pace is off. That is when you need to run well between the wickets. Boundaries are hard to come by. If you bowl fairly straight, hit your lengths and take pace off with the odd variation, It can be difficult to score boundaries and catch up quickly. You need to know your field angles here, and as it's a massive playing area. We are playing on a strip on the international strip, which is the middle strip here today at Mangaung Oval. So all boundaries are equal. There's no longer or shorter boundary. Although there's normally a westerly breeze, which isn't evident at this moment, which blows normally to the Rappie Stadium side. And that's not evident today, as we see Tiaan van Vuren. He's going to open the bowling from the Willows end. He's bowling to Rousseau. First ball, good length delivery. Good pace as well as Tiaan van Vuren. He shaped that ball slightly back to Rousseau. Change of end here from Tiaan van Vuren. On Sunday he did bowl from the Loch Logan end. It did look like he struggled to find his rhythm, and today we see him bowling the second over of the match here from the Willows end. Van Vuren, he's bowling to Rousseau as the Eastern Storm. They are only 2 runs without loss in the second over. Good length delivery again, challenging the stumps from Tiaan van Vuren. Shaping it back slightly. Rousseau quite tentative, looking closely at the ball, playing the ball late underneath his eyes. Van Vuren to Rousseau, third ball of the second over, shapes it back slightly again into the batter's pads. Rousseau, he takes a scampered single. Van Vuren there bowling to the right-hander with a deep square and a third man. Again, pretty much regulation these days to bowl out with your deep square and your fine leg up. As Rousseau took a single there to a vacant square leg position, as Sekekune, he's back on strike. He's going to face his first ball from Tiaan van Vuren. Deep square set again in position, no mid wicket. He's got a third man out. He's also got a slip catching. Captain Aubrey, he's just setting Dion Forrester there behind square at deep square. Very good start here from Tiaan van Vuren. 4 very good balls here in a row in his spell. All of them with slight shape, good full length, challenging the stumps, challenging the edge of the bat, as that previous ball was just spliced towards cover. Sekekune, he's really finding it difficult up front here. He's not off the mark yet. We're in the 11th ball of the match and he's still on 0. He needs to get a move on. This is the power play. It's T20 cricket. Van Vuren, he takes it away. Another swing and miss. Precious bowling here on the Eastern Storm. Something's going to happen. Last ball of the second over. Only 3 runs scored by the Eastern Storm. And you can feel the tension building up here. The pressure is building. Very important last ball here for the Knights. You just feel, or you just sense that something's going to happen now this next ball. Tiaan van Vuren, you would like to finish this last ball of the second over quite well. Here he goes, last ball, good length delivery, and Sekekune, he's happy to run down to third man, only for 1 run, and this is a great start by the Knights. Eastern Storm, they're only 4 without loss after 2 overs. Good starts from both Langa and Van Vuren. Here goes Langa, he's continuing from the Loch Logan end. He's bowling to Sekekune, he's under pressure. Another swing and miss. This is getting quite frustrating here for the Eastern Storm. Sekekune, he's only on 1. and they need to get a move on. This is power play batting. A lot of play and misses from Sekekune. Finally some bat on ball there from Sekekune, but unfortunately he finds the cover fielder. Offside field's pretty packed on the ring. It's a slip in play. Deep square set and the third man. Sekekune is really finding it tough here to get going. Sekekune, he flicks it away to deep square. He's coming back for two. He takes to the to Tian van Vuren, who's on a deep square boundary. Sekekune walking over his stumps there. Maybe tried to nullify the ball that's going across with the angle. Get some bat on ball. Again, only 2 runs from this over so far. We're already halfway through it. This is the third over. Eastern Storm, they only 6 without loss. Langa to Sekekune as we see that ball stay a bit low. And 2-bye signal there by the umpire. Garnetar, you won't be happy with that behind the stumps, but it must be said. Got ominous signs there from the wicket. And that might be why the Eastern Storm has decided to bat first. It does tend to get a bit low in the afternoon. There is a couple of cracks, which means the wicket is quite dry, and it has been extremely hot the last 3 weeks here in Bloemfontein. Langa, he's bowling to Sekekune, he's walking over his stumps, and at last he gets one out of, I won't say middle, but he got some bat on ball there. He slogged it into a cow position, which is quite vacant, and he comes back for his second. Langa, he's finishing here the third over. Last ball of the third over to Sekekune. Banged it into the wicket, straight to deep square. He fumbles it, but it's lazy running from Sekekune. Couldn't come back for a second. Eastern Storm, they are 11 without loss after 3 overs. Tian van Vuren, he will continue from the Willows end, bowling the 4th over in the power play. It's very rarely that you see 2 opening bowlers these days in T20 cricket. They bowl 2 in a row from both ends as van Vuren, he bowls to Sekekune. Walks over his stumps as van Vuren follows his pads, and Sekekune, he pushes it into the leg side for 2 runs. Deep square in position here with a third man. Slip, he's making his way into mid-wicket, which was vacant the ball before. Sekekune, he walks over his stumps. Flicks it over short fine. Deep square, Dian Forrester, he makes his way around. Cut it off to 2. Yeah, you could feel that Eastern Storm, they get the sense that they need to get going here. Sekekune is getting very extravagant. Just played a paddle over short fine, didn't quite get all of it. He got 2 red ball before he walked way over his stumps into vacant mid-wicket area. He's faced a lot of balls in his innings so far and he needs to get going. Van Vuuren to Sekekune. Bangs it in. Oh, that's good pace and bounce to the keeper. Another dot for Sekekune in the Eastern Storm. It's well bowled from Van Vuuren. Good aggression. Van Vuuren, he floats it outside off. He will be disappointed with that. Sekekune just threw his hands and the ball trickles into the boundary rope. Van Vuuren, he'll be disappointed with that. To give away a soft boundary like that, you could sense that Sekekune was totally under pressure. And Van Vuuren, he gave away a soft boundary there by floating it up outside off. And Sekekune, he was quick on to pounce onto it. He hit it over covers and the ball trickled into the boundary. Eastern Storm, 19 without loss. 2 balls remaining in the 4th over. Here goes Van Vuuren. Hard length again, that's better. As Sekekune, he runs it down to third man. That's more the length Tiaan Van Vuuren would have looked after. And Rousseau, he's on strike. He hasn't faced a lot of balls in this inning so far. We're already in the last ball of the 4th. And I'm sure he'll also sense a bit of pressure to get going, although he didn't face a lot of balls. And Van Vuuren, he would like to finish this over out well as he's bowling over the wickets to Rousseau. Deep square in position. Slip is out, he's at mid-wicket, he's hanging on the ring. It looks like they want to protect this over and protect this ball as Van Vuuren. Good length ball to Rousseau, who taps it into the vacant square leg area for 1 run. And the Eastern Storm, they 21 without loss after 4 overs. Bowling change from the Loch Logan end. It's Nipo Mpunguse. He's been a revelation this season for the Knights. He kept it quite simple this season so far. He runs in, he hits a hard length, a good pace behind the ball. He enjoys bowling with the field out, especially set square. And in this instance, he's still bowling in the power play, so there's only 2 fielders allowed outside the inner ring. We've got a deep square in position and a third man. As Mpunguse would like to follow and continue to build pressure on the good start Langa and Van Vuuren provided the Knights with. As the Eastern Storm, they would like to get going. Rousseau, he's facing Mpunguse. He's bowling from the Loch Logan end. As we see immediately a hard length ball into the wicket as the ball gets struck to short fine. Beat misfielder there, and the Eastern Storm, they scamper through for 1 run. Sekekune back on strike. He'll face his first ball from Mpunguse, who just came into the attack. Again, third man in position, deep square. Short fine is up, and we've got a mid-wicket also in position who's hanging on the ring. As Mpunguse, he's coming from the Loch Logan into Sekekune. Hard length, swing and a miss again. Yeah, it just looks like Sekekune, he's struggling for any sense of rhythm in his batting at the moment. maybe looking to try and hit the ball too square through the offside. But yeah, the channel of 5th, 6th and 7th stump is definitely a problem at this moment for Sekhukhune. Interesting to see. The Knights will prefer Sekhukhune on strike here. Sekhukhune, he stands across his stumps and he guides it to third man. Interesting ploy there by him. Yeah, Sekhukhune, quite interesting, covering his stumps, but almost standing like Shivnarayan Chanderpool, and where his chest is facing the bowler. I think that's maybe to negate the angle going across, getting in line with the ball as he takes a similar stance, standing right in front of his stumps. In Panguse, he's hitting a hard length, and that's well played by Sekhukhune. He paddles it over, short fine. And Sekhukhune did well there to get inside the line of the ball to help it on its way. And that's a boundary for Eastern Storm. They are moving on to 28. Here goes Mpunguse. He's bowling from the Loch Logan end. Sekhukhune on strike. Good bounce. Good base and bounce through to the keeper Tar. That's another dot for Sekhukhune. Last ball off the 5th over. The Knights will look to protect this ball as the over went for 7 already. And this Whitefield, this is an important ball here for the Knights. If they can get away here with 1 or 2, they will be happy. So he bowls outside off. Sekhukhune takes the bait. He slaps it through the covers. It was a half chance at point, but the point fielder didn't get a hand to it, and that's another boundary. That's more like it for Sekhukhune. He starts to get going, and the Eastern Storm, they 32 without loss after 5 overs. 1 over to go in this mandatory power play. Will be interesting to see who's going to bowl this last over. As it looks from Fearon again, very odd. Bowl these days 3 overs in a row in a T20 if you're not a spinner, especially in the power plays. The batters have seen enough now from Tiaan van Vuuren, especially if it's the same batters, the same set or pair of batters. It's not like there was different batters coming to the crease, so it will be interesting to see how this over goes. The Eastern Storm, they will back themselves here to push up the run rate and get to 40 plus runs after the power plays. For Vuuren, he's bowling from the Willows end. Bowled him clean, and that's maybe why Captain Aubrey Swanepoel kept Tiaan van Vuuren on. Great delivery there from Tiaan van Vuuren, hard length, it shaped back slightly, he top off, and that's a broken off stump as well. Great delivery from Tiaan van Vuuren as Eastern Storm, they lose their first wicket. Rousseau, he departs for 3 runs from 6 balls. Eastern Storm 32 for 1 after 5 overs. said, John, bro, they literally called me like 12:30.
Great, me too. I think 15 minutes after you.
Bro, it's like, and they called us like, listen, are you at Mangaung today? I was like, no, I'm on my way to holiday because it's school holiday. Okay, can't you maybe do the game? You know. Joining me in the commentary box is Sashinta Galenergy. Sashinta, very welcome again. Very hot day in Bloem. As interesting contest here between the ITEC Knights and the Eastern Storm.
Good afternoon to all our viewers. Good afternoon, Aya. Yeah, it's actually a fantastic day for another days of cricket. ITEC Knights 38 for 2 after 5. Sorry, the Eastern Stormers. Wonderful run out there.
We batted to the crease here for the Eastern Storms. Aaron Visser. He's facing his first ball from Tiaan van Vuuren, who beats the outside edge. Impressive spell so far here from Tiaan van Vuuren. He's bowled 3 overs for 18. He took the 1 wicket of Rousseau. Clean bowled, off stump out of or actually broken. It will be interesting to see if the Knights would look to uphold the pressure and bowl him straight through. Yeah, Sash, pretty conservative start here from the Eastern Storm, and as we see a bowling change from the Loch Logan end, Dane Piet, he comes into the attack, and he would look to maintain that pressure and to keep on to keep a squeeze on. As Shailen Pillay, he's gonna face the 7th over from Dane Piet. Yeah, Sash, conservative start here from the Eastern Storm. They would 38 for 2 after 6. They would like to start pushing the run rate. As we know, in the middle overs on this big playing surface, yes, boundaries are hard to come by.
Yeah, definitely. Chat for 1. Deep cover there by Pillay. I think it's a good move by the Knights here, just to keep on that pressure. Those 2 wickets, not really ideal for the Stormers. Eastern Stormers over here.
As we see Piet from the Loch Logan end to Visser, he just keeps it out.
And just like you mentioned, I think it's going to be difficult for them to. Obviously, the boundary options with the bigger boundaries here, it's going to be difficult to maintain that standard of hitting boundaries consistently here.
Piet, as we see, it looked like an arm ball. As Visser, exactly what we spoke about. That's how you're going to need to score your runs in the middle overs, by good running, hitting pockets, running twos to boundary fielders, as boundaries will be hard to come by.
I wanted to ask you how important do you think it is to run here on this wicket, on this ground actually? How important is it for a team with regards to their running and their singles and 2s and 3s?
Yeah, I think we can't probably overestimate how important running between the wickets is at Mangaung Oval. Yeah, Sash, I think especially in the middle overs against spin, hitting boundaries is hard to come by because you need to hit the ball in the air for over 85 meters. So I think in general to hit the ball in the air is probably it's probably not a good option, as you need to hit the ball quite far in the air. And even hitting the ball on the ground, you can get value for shots because the outfield is pretty quick, so you can get value for shots. But you know, with a big playing surface like this, boundary fielders can get to the ball quickly. So, you know, running, but how are you going to score your runs then is by running between the wickets. You're going to need to take on your boundary fielders. You're going to need to hit pockets. You're going to need to hit the balls into the gap and run twos. So, no, it's extremely important at this field, Sash.
Definitely. 100% agree with you there. I think with the previous game as well, we saw how important the running was between the wickets. And I think it would be something that the Eastern Stormers should take into consideration, because this is not a ground where you can just come and start hitting from ball one and expect to hit every ball for 6 or 4.
As we see a bowling change here from the Willows end, Nippon Punguse, he's into the attack. He's bowling the 8th over. The Eastern Storm, 43 for a loss of 2 as Dane Piet's first over only conceded 5 runs. Punguse hits deck hard. And the ball struck in the gap between fine leg and deep square. Good fielding there on the boundary from Sitembile Langa as Shailen Pillai, he comes back for 2 runs.
Also with that extra pace. See the field, the deep square, fine leg, almost like a deep mid-wicket slash cow.
Yeah.
Everyone moving a bit squarer.
Yeah, you don't often see in the middle overs bowlers bowling with a mid on and a mid off up. But it is Mpunguse. It's quite obvious what he wants to do here. He wants to hit the deck hard as he actually bowls it quite full on that occasion. It's run down by Pillay.
Double bluff?
Double bluff. I don't think Pillay expected that ball at all. There was a deep mid wicket, a deep square, a fine leg, third man and a sweeper out. You don't see this field quite often as there's only wicket he comes in. There's only 4 fielders out now. You don't see this often at all, to be honest. Hard length outside off. Visser, he swings and misses.
What do you think the... Sorry, Arya?
Yeah.
What do you think the captain's plan is here? To have obviously 4 out with the extra guy, obviously, that he has in his pocket. What do you think the plan is? Do you think it was more to build pressure on Visser here?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Sash. I think it's also a bit of a mind game of going, you know, Visser, come show us that you're a proper batter and take this field on as he hits the ball hard to mid-off, misfield by Swanepoel on mid-off, and they scamper through for 1. Yeah, I think it's kind of a, you know, Visser, we're leaving the play to you and show us that you can push out another fielder, and as well as squeezing maybe another dot into the mid-wicket area, as I think Punguse, he's going to hit the deck quite hard and bowl straight. So yes, definitely trying to squeeze, as we see a very wide delivery there, trying to squeeze a dot, and then you know, kind of putting in the same breath, putting Pillay also under pressure for him to start scoring.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah. I think the Knights have also recognised that these 2 batsmen are still early on in their innings, and there seems like a clear tactical plan for Pillay and Visser, whereas the deep mid wicket goes out for Pillay and Visser comes back in.
Full and straight, scamper to mid-off, and they get through for 1. Yeah, Mpunguse, he likes hitting the deck hard, bowling quite straight. He doesn't like to complicate it too much. As we see again, the deep mid wicket, it was out for Pillay. Oh no, he's actually staying out now. He's Dion Forrest, so that's maybe to protect this over, as there's only 1 ball to go now. So I think now with 5 out, they would like to see this over through the Knights. If it goes for 1, they'll be happy. Hard length, top of the stumps, well bowled, and Visser, he takes 1. The Eastern Storm, they're 50 for 2 after 8.
I'm so used to knowing the Viapia, the Stormers, and I call them the Eastern Stormers.
Eastern Stormers.
Eastern Storm. 50 for 2 after 8. What do you think they're looking for here, Aya? If you're in the Eastern Storm camp, what would you be looking at?
Yeah, I think quite a seductive, seductive start here by Eastern Storm. You'd like to get off to a fast start as that's not good fielding from Dane Piet. He was slow towards that ball. Visser, he struck it into a vacant mid-wicket area. Piet was slow to react, and Visser gets back for 2. Quite seductive start here by the Eastern Storm. Sash, you want to get off to a fast start here on this ground. The ball comes on nicely while it's hard and new, and they did face a lot of dots in the power play, which is, as we see a ball get chipped into mid-wicket again, only one on this occasion. So yeah, you want to be scoring in the power play, which they didn't. And now they find themselves in a position where they're slightly behind the 8 ball, and they need to get a move on. Sash, I think, I don't look probably out of this position. They would be happy with anything of 150, which I think is maybe slightly below par, to be honest.
I agree with you there. I think I definitely agree with you on that point. You've got to capitalize on that first 6 with a hard ball, fielders up in a T20. That's the mindset. It seems like the batsmen of the Storm here are looking to take singles and 2s now and kind of milking Piet here for a few.
Look like the Division 2 team so far on this T20 comp quite identified and were quite happy to play Dane Piet quite conservatively.
Yes.
And as Pillay, he's facing this last ball, you would just get a sense it's an important ball for the Knights. Pillay comes down the track, well bowled from Piet, he saw him.
Pushed that one through, didn't he?
Pushed that one through,
Brilliant.
Into the wicket, well bowled. And 9 overs bowled, 56 for 2 is the Eastern Storm. Yeah, and exactly what you said, Sash. You wanna in the middle overs, like we spoke about when we spoke about the field dimensions. It's difficult to actually score boundaries. It's difficult to score boundaries. So that's why you want to get off to a fast start, kind of to give yourself a buffer in the middle overs where you can play low risk cricket, keep the ball on the ground, take your 2s, bat it 8, 9s and over if possible. And that's why after the power play you want to be on 60 odd, kind of to get to the 170 score that has been scored here now on 2 occasions, and both of those occasions were winning totals. So as we see a bowling change from the Willow's End, it's Dean Forrester. He bowls it full and straight, missed time there completely by Shailen Pillay. Forrester, he's bowling also with a mid-off up, long on out, deep mid-wicket, deep square. Fine leg, he's trotting his way up into the ring now. Third man is going out, and the sweeper. So three fielders out on the leg side, 2 on the off side. Forrester, he bowls it wide for sweeper, well bowled to his field. You don't really want to speak about a par score until both teams batted on it. But so far, the wicket looks quite similar as the wickets that has been prepared. So far, it looks like on all the occasions, 160 was 165 was par, or was quite, I would say, minimum probably. So he hits it into the vacant mid-wicket area and he takes 2. That's good running.
That's excellent running. I think the batsmen of the Stormers need to realise how important the running is here. And I think from the Knights' perspective here, I think another wicket here would really put some pressure on the Storm batsmen over here.
Yeah, definitely. you wouldn't like to see the Knights now just going into defensive mode and kind of restricting the Storm.
Yeah.
You'd like them to keep on building pressure, be aggressive, try and take wickets. Visser hits it hard into the wicket, bounces over the stumps. He takes 2 again, too long on. It does look like Visser, he's a good manipulator of the ball. Doesn't look like a good big hitter of the ball, so this will suit him. Manipulating the ball into pockets, running hard between the wickets. That's what's required. That's what he's going to need to do. As Forrester, he bowls a fifth ball hard into the deck. Well bowled. That wasn't expected. Also to his field.
Very good variation, I think.
So we see Ferdman. He comes back into the ring. Regulation spinners field now without him at wicket. There's sweepers on the boundary, long off is on the boundary, long on is in the boundary. Cow as well as deep square to finish this over out. Good over so far from the Knights. Can Forrester finish it off? And he does. Well bowled. Pace off. That's what you want to see more often from the night seamers in the middle overs. The Eastern Storm, they 62 for 2 after 10. It seems that you were and still a batter. How would you approach the situation? We're halfway in the innings. We're 62 for 2. You're playing on a big field. You've got a spinner on and you've got a seamer on from the other end who also takes space off. You obviously know that the Knights, they have a batting lineup of formidable depth and talent as well as experience. So you don't want to settle for 140 because that's not going to win you the game. How would you approach this next 10 overs? Or let's say just at least the next 2 overs?
Yeah. I think that's a very good question. I think from a batting perspective, something interesting you pointed out was those pockets you mentioned. I think in this period, you know that you don't want to lose another wicket and put pressure on the next batsman, and you want to take some responsibility here. So, personally, I would have looked to take on Pitt here and probably hit him through some of these gaps here, you know. I mean, if you get a couple of 2s in the over and you're already looking at 8 and 9 in the over so far, and I think maybe one of the 2 batsmen could identify as more as the aggressor and the other one really rotating strike. It's a beautiful shot from Pillay, over extra for a couple. Because I mean we discussed it, and I think 160 is probably par in this wicket, and they also need to realize they have a couple of big hitters there with Murray as well, who can hit a ball quite far, and Dad's well, and I think it's important that these 2 just keep on carrying the team with a couple of 2s here that Pillay shows. I think there should be another 2. It's excellent batting from Pillay.
Where would you look? We saw now Shalom Pillay on both occasions. He's looking to score a boundary over extra, and that's maybe not a bad option. I know, knowing you personally, you probably would have looked at that option over extras. There's a big pocket there. Would you at all look at a boundary option into the leg side? Or would that be more your low risk option?
Oh yeah, that's actually not a bad question as well, I must say. That might be more of a risk, the reverse sweep with 2 fielders there. I think he was looking to hit it over the top. Something like coming down the track and hitting the ball really hard between that mid-wicket gap is also not a bad option there, because I think you might also get forward with this outfield, and that's quite a low-risk shot if you just use your feet.
Yes. As we see Visser, he sweeps it. Slight miscommunication by the batters as they only settle for 1. Good fielding there by, he's a good fielder, the Gale, isn't he? We saw that earlier run out from him. That was very impressive. Yeah, I think, Sash, you always weigh it up as where's your low risk options, where's your high risk options, and your high risk option is probably your reverse sweep, as it's not really risk anymore these days for batters, is it?
No.
I just think it supports the angle of the off spinner bowling over the wickets. It's an easier shot if the ball hits your pad. You may be outside the line, and we only saw one attempted reverse sweep so far. As there is 2 points, but behind the 2 points there's obviously no fielder.
Yeah.
So you can make it a bit more simple for yourself in maybe standing on an off stump and playing your low risk cricket into the leg side and taking 1s and 2s. Oh, as we see Visser, he just picked that up. That's an impressive shot.
Absolutely nail that.
He sliced that. I'm taking my words back of him being a nudger. He picked that length up pretty quickly.
Low flying projectiles, as it says.
As he hit that into Castle Corner, a good 15 meters over the boundary. It was it's almost like he expected that, and that's good batting, because the first bowler seamer loves to start his over and to get into the over is a good length delivery, top of the stumps.
Yeah.
It's as if Visser expected that one, and he dispatched that onto the eastern embankment. As Forrester, he goes to Visser again. It's down leg, short fine is up in the ring, and that trickles for 4 more. Some much needed momentum here for the Eastern Storm.
Oh yeah, I think this is brilliant batting. With the previous over going for a couple as well, with a couple of 2s and singles. And as I said, if one of them can identify their role in this batting, I think even the last game, Visser scored 40 of 21, and Pillay was scored 22 of 22. And knowing a little bit of how Pillay bats is more the role of rotating strike, hitting the gaps, and I think Visser is more the enforcer here. And I think this is a great partnership.
Forrester, hard length, well bowled towards the stumps. Visser walked over, punched it into the vacant mid-wicket area.
And I think this is the type of batting that will suit these two, because if Pillay can just hit 2s and 1s, Visser can find the odd ball here and get 10 runs of 2 balls now in the first 3 balls with a single now. Brilliant batting.
Exactly. Forrester, he's bowling the 4th ball here of the 12 over to Pillay. As Pillay walked, well adapted by Forrester. He saw him walking across, he checked the pace off, bowled it slightly wider. It is a risk with mid-off up, but Pillay, it looked like he was quite set on hitting the ball into the leg side. Looks like he's targeting that short fine leg that's up in the ring. He's got a deep square, deep at wicket, long on, sweep and third man. So he can't bowl, Forrester can't bowl too full outside off, as that will bring mid-off, which is up, into play. Good length ball, just as I said it, middle fields it on the 1 bounce.
And this is the trick now here, I think, from Pillay's mindset, is sometimes as a batsman, when you see your partner get a few runs, you feel like you need to be the enforcer now.
Yeah.
And I think that was something probably Visser told Pillay now, as we saw there. 2 dot balls here, maybe a single would have been the better option here.
100% Sash, and there is a lot of single opportunities available. Visser is going well. As we see third man come back into the ring, that means long off goes out as the Knights look to finish this over off. Forrest pace off, well bowled, 3 dots in a row. Sash just mentioned that. That's unnecessary. That 3, I mean, the over had nice momentum, started off with 10 of 2 balls, and Visser took 1, and that's 3 dots in a row. Pillay could have played that easily. He could have rotated strike, low risk cricket, keep the score going, but unfortunately that for the Eastern Storm, that was 3 dots in a row. And now again, pressure the very first ball for the next over against Pete from Visser is now on Visser, to get scoring. So not good tactical awareness there from Shailen Pillay. Good point there, Sashita. So we see Pete, he's going to finish off his spell. Nice and straight. Visser, he works it into the leg side to deep square. So take 1. Oh, that's unfortunate. So ball hits the stumps. And they take one overthrow. Visser on strike again.
And I think if you look at those 3 balls that are bowled at the previous over, those 3 balls, one of those balls could have been a bad ball for Visser's strengths. It could have been one of his strengths to hit over mid-on because he was up.
Yeah, and it does look like he fancies Forrester as he pulls that short ball. That's great
Beautiful
fielding
fielding.
from Jacques Snyman to keep that down to 1 run. Brilliant, great teamwork from De Gale as well to get the ball in.
Brilliant fielding. That is exceptional. That is what you want from your team.
Small moment there, but that means Pille's on strike. He's under pressure as he takes on the long boundary. He hit it quite well. Long on makes his ground. That's a great catch on the edge of the boundary. Pat Botha, brilliant catch. And you must say, Sash, that wasn't smart batting, but kind of a consequence of the 3 dots he faced in the previous over, as we mentioned it. As Shailen Pillay, he departs for 20 runs. The Eastern Storm, they've 83 for 3 after 12. That's not what you want to see, eh? That's not what you want to see.
Not what you want to see, Aya, and I think Pillay just knew he threw his wicket away. I think from the previous 3 balls you could see the frustration when he punched his bat. He knew he missed out on a great over there, and I think he felt that frustration and he felt the pressure that he needed to score a boundary there, and he threw his wicket away. Not great batting, we must say. And Pillay departs for 20 of 21.
I'm sure he'll learn from this Shailen. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned it at over 10 that they need to get a partnership going. They need to hit pockets. Visser was going well, and I asked you what will you do the very next 2 overs. As 12 overs has been bowled, they actually did start a good partnership. They got going, and Pillay, he just actually needed to keep on supporting Visser. And you did mention that they've got a couple of big hitters, and here's one of them is Devan Maree, fresh out of the Under-19 Cricket World Cup. Did quite well for the SA Under-19 team. If Pillay could have maybe just batted a couple of overs more, set a good base here for Devan Maree. Devan can be very destructive at the end. Also not a bad thing for a young batter in Devan Maree. He can get himself set for the last couple of overs. He's got a good 4 overs here to knock the ball around, and then launch the last 4 as Pete. He bowls the 4th over of the 13th. Maree plays it well into the leg side to get off the mark immediately. ITEC Knights, they would try and keep the squeeze on, try and keep maintaining pressure to restrict the Eastern Storm here. We did see the Knights, they struggled to chase 176 on Sunday. They fell 20 runs short. That's great fielding from Nipon Ponguse. Speed towards the ball into the vacant mid-wicket area.
Excellent fielding there. I think it's a important balance from a fielding perspective here to give yourself 5 or 6 yards out of the boundary, to cut those 2s, as well as watch for the ball would be a catching opportunity there. Great fielding there.
Yeah, that's a great point, Sashinto. That's what just we see. Pete, he takes a wicket off Devan Maree. That's brilliantly bowled. Just experience there, isn't it? Takes his mid-wicket out, fires it in full and straight. Maree, he's looking to square, missed that straight ball, and he's plumb LBW. The Knights truly on top, you would feel now. 85 for 4 after 13 overs. Well bowled, Dane Pete, as Devan Maree departs for 1 run.
Cannot fault Dane Pete there. Excellent bowling, great skill, great awareness, changing the field, inviting the batsman to play across the line. Please take the 1. Misses a straight one and he's gone.
Ball there from Dane Pete as he concluded his 4 overs there, 2 for 23. Good spell by him, keeping the pressure on the Eastern Storm.
And that's the problem here, Aya. I think when you're a set batsman and you're in, and you can see your partner has a bit of momentum, the important thing to do is to identify that adaptability in a game, to know that he's playing well. You can just carry on support him, because once you lose a wicket, you never know. You know, in cricket, you can have a collapse, and this is exactly 2 quick wickets now.
Exactly.
And the pressure has just doubled onto the Eastern Storm camp here.
See a bowling change here from the Willows end. Nipo Mpunguse is back into the attack. He replaces Forrester, who did bowl badly, but he went for 17 in his 2. That's well fielded from Garnetar, or kept by Garnetar behind the stumps. As Mpunguse, he's bowling here with a fine leg out, deep square, cowl, mid on, mid off, up into the ring, and a sweeper. No guessing what's going to come here. It's hard into the deck, fast stuff. As we see Postumus facing his first ball here. See again, Aubrey Swanepoel, captain. He brings his deep mid wicket in. That means only 4 fielders is outside of the ring in this T20. You are allowed 5 out of the ring. The Knights, they probably feeling they can get some more pressure as a top edge over the keeper's head for 1 bounce 4. See, that's the problem with bowling hard into the wicket, Sachinta. If you're not going to get your line right, the ball's going to fly because there's space behind the ball to hit it square.
Exactly, make such a valid point there. The danger with this length that he's bowling is for the option of the batsman just to free their arms and swing through the line. With mid-wicket also coming up, not really much room for error here.
He's going to need to be a bit more disciplined with his line here, Nipo Mpunguse, as he adds better.
That's much better.
Way better. Top of middle, rising towards the batter. The only place he can hit that basically is into the area of fine leg and deep square.
Seems like it was the top of his head. Beautiful bowling there by
Mpunguse. He's bowling the 4th of the 14th. As Postumus, he slashes it out to sweeper. It's another hard length ball from Mpunguse. So just back to your point earlier, that what you would call tactical nows from Shailen Pillay earlier, that just halted the momentum of the good partnership built between him and Visser. And they were busy setting up a good base for the Eastern Storm to accelerate towards the end. Nonetheless, they still got 6 overs to go here, so they can still push that 150 mark we spoke about earlier. As Visser, he takes one which misdirected down leg, but that's why Mpunguse has his fine leg for that reason. So we see Long come out as well. Be very surprised if this ball is outside off. Wide down the leg side. 4 boundary fielders on the leg side. Fine leg, deep square, deep at wicket, long on. No mid wicket, there's only a sweeper out on the boundary and offside. Very predictable here, Sachinta.
I think the margin of error here for the bowler is very, 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 very high here, and I think it's difficult here because if he's a little bit outside off, you can just use his pace and hit it over that short third.
Wide, exactly, and that's probably a consequence of how disciplined Mpunguse needs to be with his line here.
Exactly. Like I said, margin of error here, very, very minimal here for the bowler, and it's almost like trying to overcompensate not to bowl wider, trying to go too straight.
I'm probably happy if Postumus only gets 1 year anyway. He's a new batter to the crease, as he tucks it fine towards fine leg and they turn for 2. See, that's quite unnecessary runs. You feel like Postumus, he's new, he's not going to take a hard length ball immediately on from Mpunguse. He's new to the crease. You can hit a hard length with a basic field set. You can take one and he's on strike the next ball, and that's what you want. You want the new batter to be on strike the majority of the balls. So quite interesting field setting there from the Knights. As we see a bowling change from the Loch Logan end. As Captain Aubrey Swanepoel into the attack. Let's get the Eastern Storm. They've got 6 overs to go. Yeah, they're 96 for 4. Oren Visser, he's quite set on 53. He's looking good. As Aubrey Swanepoel, he comes into the attack. He's going to need to be disciplined from the start. As Eastern Storm will look to push on. As down leg been signalled with keeping there from Gontar.
Crucial time here for Swanepoel to come in.
He's going to need to be on the money from ball 1. Nice and straight. Visser hits it into vacant but wicket area, trying to push for 2, but that's good fielding for Pat Botha. Speed from the boundary. So, no mid wicket for Visser, but they're putting a mid wicket here in for Postumus. Point goes around to extra cover. That means there's only one fielder behind square on the offside, then a short third. So Swanepoel's going to need to bowl nice and straight here. As he does. And he almost chips it straight to mid wicket. That's well bowled from Swanepoel. 1 run again to Pat Botha at long on. As mid wicket, he goes back to the offside, vacant mid wicket for Visser. Right outside off. It's a great bowl. That's good fielding on the sweeper boundary from Van Vuuren. Definitely stopped 2 runs there.
Great fielding from Van Vuuren there. Fantastic.
That was a boundary written all over it. As the 100 comes up for the Eastern Storm. They reached that milestone in 14.3 overs. So he plays it conservatively into the onside for 1. He's bowling to that's a massive hit out of the crease from Postumus over long on. That's an impressive shot for 6 runs.
That is a beautiful shot. He's absolutely creamed that. Taking on the long boundary, smashed it. Great connection.
That's an impressive hit. That's a big boundary. He cleared it quite comfortably, probably with 10 meters. That's a massive hit. That's 85 meters, 90 meters plus. You see the last ball bowled here from Swanepoel again. Same shot. That's into the pocket. De Gale comes across and he takes a great catch. It's a great catch from De Gale. Again, question the thinking behind that shot selection. He just hit a terrific shot for 6. Went for the same option. Chances of hitting 2 great shots like that in a row towards the long boundary, you need to ask yourself what's the percentages as Postumus loses his wicket for 12 of 7 balls. Eastern Storm now 108 for 5 after 15, 5 overs to go.
Swanepoel will definitely be happy with that after getting hit for 12 in the over. I think that wicket softens the blow after getting hit for a 6.
It's an interesting conversation these days, I feel, Sachinta. You could say that if he hits another one for 6, the momentum is truly on the side of the Eastern Storm, but you also have an in-batter on the other side who can also take down the bowlers, and I feel that's just where it comes in. We talked about that word tactical nous earlier from Shailen Pillay as well. Do you follow a bit of tactical nous here, or is it a case of you want to put your stamp down and your authority down on the game, and you feel like your strike rate needs to pick up, and you make that decisions for yourself, or just maybe look around you, be aware of the situation, take a decision for the team? It's always an interesting balance, I feel, as a batter in a white ball game.
Tian van Vuren coming into the attack with his final over.
Van Vuren, he's bowled well so far, way better here from the Willows end. You can see he's way more comfortable here from the Willows end. 3 overs for 18. First ball here to Visser as he takes a scampered single to cover. I don't think the Knights will mind that. As the new batter Shane Dadswell, he's on strike. He's going to face his first ball from Tian van Vuren. We've got a mid-on and mid-off up into the ring, inside the ring again. Excuse me, just as I said it, Swanepoel changed the field. He brings mid-wicket into the ring. It's a long on out, a deep square, fine leg, sweeper, as well as a third man. Length outside off, well bowled. That's all. He tried to run it down to third man, but didn't get bat on ball on that occasion.
That's what you call a Jaffa. Absolutely beaten the bat, well bowled from Van Vuren.
We've got 5 fielders on the offside. 2 of them is boundary riders and a sweeper and a third man. 4 on the leg side. Only 1 of those 4 is inside the ring. That's mid wicket. So we've got a fire leg, deep square, long on. Bowls quite tight in his line here, Van Vuren, as he bowls a well-directed bouncer. That's well, he manages to hit it into the leg side towards fine leg. Good fielding from Langa, only for 1 run.
It's a good over so far from Van Vuren. It's quite the platform here for the Eastern Storm batsmen. Probably looking to be a little bit more risky, I would say, to get that total to a good score.
Fine leg coming in, deep mid wicket goes out. So for Fear another hard length delivery. Visser, he plays it into the offside. Yeah, we've got 4.2 overs to go in this innings. You will see that Eastern Storm batters will probably look and try and look to take a bit more risks now and try and be a bit more aggressive. As he's new to the crease. 2 balls to go in this over. Finally goes out again, but wicket comes back into the ring. Here goes Van Vuren, base off. That's brilliantly bowled. It's what you felt the Knights bowling attack they lacked over the previous 3 games was pace off from the seamers, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing. Pace off. Take the ball away from the right-hander in bowling or off-cutter. It's difficult to hit, difficult to generate pace as a batter.
Excellent skill level by Van Vuren. You've seen his variation with a good length ball, a short ball, and slow ball bouncer here.
So field change, mid wicket goes to the boundary, finally comes in. This is important ball. The Knights would like to save this over. As Van Vuren bowls it quite straight, and Dadswell's happy to only take 1. Great spell there from Tian van Vuren. He bowled his 4 overs for 22. He picked up a wicket, and he bowled 3 of those overs in a power play. So impressive stuff today from Tian. He looked way more comfortable from the Willows end, and a good over from the Knights as well. I think we're going to start seeing some fireworks from now on, as 16 overs has already been bowled. The Eastern Storm, they only had on 112 for 5, so Sash, I think they're gonna need to start pushing now for that 150 total.
Definitely. I think Festa is probably the key batsman here, and the Knights would like to see him walking back to the pavilion. But from the Storm's perspective, I think they would want Festa to kick on here, and really, I think they would really look to get at least above 150 here.
As we see a bowling change there from Lok Logan end. Sitimbele Langa, he's back into the attack. He's also bowled well so far. 2 overs for 9, I must say. Knights bowlers way better today in regards to discipline and accuracy. as Langa is bowling of a deep square, deep mid wicket, a long off and a sweeper as his boundary riders. Mid wicket is vacant as Dadswell, he's walking across, mistime that one, easy catch at Cal corner for Degale. That's his second catch for the match, and he had impressive run outs. It's well bowled from Langa. It looked like a pace off delivery. Dadswell completely mistiming that delivery. And another wicket for the Knights. Sashinta, that is putting a massive hold now on the Eastern Storm's innings.
Oh yeah, that is definitely true, and he's gone. Degale having a field day on the field. Yeah. Taking 2 catches and a run out, beautiful. Sometimes you have to wonder if some of the batsmen have done the analysis on the ground. I felt posthumous dismissal. After a very impressive boundary, to try and take that option again on, Dane Piet's, Swanepoel's last ball of his over that already went for 12. Pillai's dismissal, was Dadswell's dismissal. You can't just hit the ball in the air at Mangaung Oval. If you want to hit the ball in the air, it needs to go 90 plus meters. You need to be a bit more selective in your options at the Mangaung Oval, as the Knights are doing well to restrict the Eastern Storm as we see the new batter to the crease. And if you don't hit those 90 meters, it's fielding practice for
your
the fielding team.
Exactly. New batter here for the Eastern Storm is Leander Libbe. He's going to face his first ball in the 17th over. Langa from the Loch Logan end. Full and straight, that looks pretty adjacent. That's out, full and straight. Great bowling from Langa. No mid wicket in play. I leave that area vacant. He bowled full and straight, and Libbe, he's out for a golden duck. He looked to square on that one. Not a wicket for the Knights. They truly now on the pound seats.
Excellent bowling from Langa. Full and straight, hits the pads. Umpire has no doubt and sticks him. He's walking back to the pavilion for nothing.
Disappointing day out of the bat for Leander Libbe as the Eastern Storm. They're under some pressure here now to post anything respectable for their bowlers, and poor old Aaron Visser, he's on his own out there, seeing all his batting partners just stumble around him, and he's going to now need to take all the responsibility basically for the team to post a respectable score here.
Visser, the Lone Ranger.
Sashinta, you mentioned earlier about fielding at the Mangaung Oval, and it's also a chat we had with Ryan McLaren, and it is an art fielding here. It's not like you're fielding on the Wanderers, where as a boundary fielder you can be on the boundary edge, and as a fielder, inner ring fielder, you only need to stop one. At the Mangaung Oval, you need to understand, as we see a field change here, mid wicket comes in, they push out Findek, so Findek is out. There's no cow corner on this occasion. Oh, well bowled by Langa, full and straight on his hat-trick ball to Andrew Rasimane. Just missed that moment of Langa's trick ball there. Back to the point that it is an art fielding here at the Mangaung Oval. You need to know your angles firstly, and then secondly, if you're a boundary fielder, your heels can't be all the way back on the boundary rope, because simply the batters will run on your arms. So you need to understand the balance and the skill and the art between being 5 to 10 off to try and save the 2 runs, but then again not being too far off so the ball goes over your head for a 1 bounce boundary. That's always an embarrassing sight for a fielder. So, and you also need to practice that. Yeah. You need to practice backtracking. Hard length from Langa as the ball is edged to third man. Well bowled from Sitimbele Langa. You need to practice that. So you can't just expect to turn up on the day and do that. You actually need to go out with your coach and be 10 meters off and get a feel for how much you can backtrack while taking the overhead catch. Yeah. Or how far you should be off for you personally, because every fielder's speed and arm is different.
Yeah.
So you need to get a feel for that.
Definitely.
One guy, he's bowling the 5th ball of the 17th over, down leg wide.
Valid point, Aya. I think you have to practice that skill. It is part of match awareness. I don't know. I think if our listeners have watched a little bit of the Big Bash and knowing the fields in Australia and how big they are, if you watch some of the fielders, they are quite clearly about 10-15 meters off the boundary because they understand the conditions in the field.
Manga 5th ball of the 17th. Again, wide down leg, extra setting up to 10.
And I think for the Australian players, it's almost like a standard measure of doing that because most of the fields there are quite big. Whereas here in South Africa, you get your variations here, and we know that this ground is quite big. And knowing your distances, your arm, your speed to the ball is a massive factor here.
Yeah, some viewers and listeners might think it's a small thing, but it's those small things that wins close games of T20 cricket,
Exactly.
Especially here. If you're not on the ball, and we actually saw that on Sunday with Limpopo, who was quite inexperienced. They totally outbowled the Knights, and that's why they won the game. But they made silly mistakes in the field where the balls went over fielders' heads, and for one bounce boundaries. And you could see it was quite foreign for them fielding on such a big ground. But you need to practice that. You need to know the feel for it, as well as the feel for sprinting towards the ball, as we're seeing. Like Pat Botha, that's brilliant. As I'm speaking, sprinting to a ball that gets dropped on the edge of the inner ring circle, picking it up cleanly with a strong throw. It doesn't happen at a lot of grounds.
Yes.
So that was a perfect example, and well done, Pat Botha,
Brilliant.
for making my point quite visible there.
Proving your point, and I see Pat running all the way from
long on to long on. And that is not because some viewers think it, especially school players, they might think that's punishment, but that is just awareness of he's one of the best fielders.
Yeah.
He's one of the best fielders in the team, and long on is quite a high traffic area in the depth.
Yeah.
So number one, he's got speed. Number two, he's got safe hands,
Yes.
and then number three, he's got a bullet arm.
Exactly.
So that's why he's happy, and the Knights is happy that he runs between overs from long on to long on.
Exactly. And I think also for the viewers to understand, there's also a reason why he's doing that. I think it's all to do with his attitude of wanting the ball. You know that the ball's going to come there. I think something that Faf du Plessis and John T. Rhodes actually said through their conversations was that the first and the most important thing is you want the ball to come to you.
Exactly.
If you want the ball to come to you, that's the first thing. You're already preparing your mind that the ball is going to come to you every ball, and you are ready and waiting, and you want that.
That's a great point. So she does. Bonguse, he's bowling another wide here for the Knights. They've bowled already way too many for T20 innings, as the extras exceeds or pushes on to 11. Bonguse, he's bowling here from the Willows end. He's into the 18th over. The Eastern Storm, they are 118 for 7. That's Andrew Rasamane. He's on strike. Runs it down to third man. We've got a third man, a sweeper. A deep square, long on, and a deep mid wicket in play. Fine leg.
I do have to commend Fessa for this innings. I think he's batted beautifully here. Although it's a lone innings, I think he's batted very nicely.
He's a quite young player. Didn't look out of his depth as well at all as he chips the ball to wicket. Yeah, I mean it's just the makeup of a cricket team, Sashinta. It's no coincidence that. It feels like if you're watching a T20 game, especially now with the SA20 that's passed, as we see Rasimane advances, takes a scampered single, and Swanepoel misses. That looked pretty out again if it was a direct hit.
He was gone for all money.
It's gone for all money. As it feels like in a Def and the SA20 match you constantly see Faf du Plessis' face. But he's because the best fielders are in the high traffic areas, and that's just the makeup of a cricket team.
Yeah.
Everyone's not all 11. That was Nick's that one, and question was that it carried, but he looks quite happy with the dismissal as Aaron Visser. He's dismissed by Mpoguse. He nicked that behind to Tar. Maybe a consequence of lacking or facing balls in the last couple of overs. He loses his wicket for 42. Good knock by young Aaron Visser. Product from St Benedict's College in Bedford View. Well batted, and the Eastern Storm, they are in heaps of trouble at 121 for 8.
Well, the commentator's curse there, just as we were speaking about Visser's innings, 42 of 36, 8 dots, 1-4, 1-6. I think he batted beautifully, especially with the amount of dots he's faced. Very well. Looks like a promising talent there. Batted beautifully there. You mentioned that he was quite young.
Yeah, he's a quite young player. He's, I think he's aged 21.
21 years old.
So, yeah.
That was very, very good innings from him. Very well played and mature innings, I would say. And it was good to back his 40 against the Heat with another 40 here. And we see the Knights really tightening their grip on this game. 121 for 8 after 17. Would ideally like to close this off quickly and get these 2 wickets.
Yeah, the Knights would look like would look now. Always, you would like the Knights now to go for the kill and bowl the Eastern Storm out instead of trying to defend the score. As I'm saying there, there's a slip and play without a mid-wicket, well bowled, first ball to Nkobu, nice, full and straight.
We're playing a test match here with slip on the 18th over.
18th over, 121 for 8 after 18. Dipo Mpunguse, he bowled a good spell of 4 overs for 32. As we see a couple of spectators coming into the ground, another very hot day. It is school holidays, like I mentioned earlier.
You did, you mentioned it was school holidays. People going home, going on holiday for the long weekend. Hopefully a couple of numbers come in to watch the Knights chase the score down.
So 2 overs to go in this Eastern Storm T20 innings. 121 for 8. Knights truly in a pound seat here as we see Sitembele Langa. He's bowling the 19th. He's bowling with a third man, a sweeper, deep square, deep mid wicket and a long on. Andrew Rasimane on strike. Hard length from Langa, well bowled. Andrew Rasimane, he looked for an option there over mid-off. Well adapted by Langa, he kept on following him. 11 balls to go in this innings. Langa from the Loch Logan end, running to Rasimane. Full and straight at the stumps, that's what you want to see. Close the innings out, Langa, well bowled, full and straight. Another wicket goes down for the Eastern Storm, they 9 down. 121 for 9 as Rasimane departs.
Full straight and bang, knocks off stump out of the ground. Knocked him over, well bowled Langa. He's bowling a serious spell here. And the Eastern Storm in all sorts.
Yeah, you would say this is a well below par effort from the Eastern Storm. Doesn't feel like this is enough. Just looking at the nature of the pitch played, it didn't look like there was any turn on offer. It was some inconsistent bounce, as there is normally easier at Mangaung Oval. It normally stays low. It's never up and down. It's normally just down. So it's not that hard to deal with as a batter. Yeah, the Knights, they would like now, 10 balls to go. They would like now to bowl Eastern Storm out immediately. And not for his 10 balls to go on, because another 10 balls can equal 10 runs. Just bowl them out now in the next 2 or 3 balls, full and straight, you would think.
3 slips in a gully.
As you see, actually, just as you say, Gian Klute, he's jogging his way to slip.
Ideally, the Knights would not want his tail to wag a little bit in these last 10 balls.
See, slip in play. Sweeper, third man, fine leg, deep square. Langa bowls it quite full outside off to Simalane as he takes one. The trick always here as a fielding team is not to relax. Make a conscious effort of staying alert here. Bowl them out for as low as possible. You never know how crucial this last couple of runs can be. As Langa, he changes his angle, I think that's a good ploy. Coming around the wickets to create the angle for the ball to hit the stumps. Try full and straight, well bowled to Nkobu. No run. He's bowling a very good spell here today, is Sitebile. He's got 2 balls left in his spell, 3 for 14. Way more accurate today, must say. At the start in the power play, the first couple of overs of the match to Sikakune, he bowled a lot of dot balls across the left-hander there to the keeper Tar, and just way more accurate today. Another ball just bounced quite strangely.
Like you mentioned here, I think Langa has definitely bowled an excellent spell here. 3 for 14 after 3.5. He would ideally like to close this innings off here and take a 4-for with 1 ball left in the over.
Last ball of Sitembile Langa's spell. Slip in play, no mid wicket. Full and straight. Well fielded off his own bowling, and that's a great spell by Sitembile Langa. Well bowled, 4 overs, 3 for 14. As we've got 1 over to go in this Eastern Storm's innings. 122 for 9. Looks like Dion Forrester, he's going to bowl the last over of the innings here from the Willows end. We've got a deep mid wicket, deep square, fine leg, third man sweeper, middle up in the ring. It's Forrester. He's bowling the last over of the innings. Full and straight, popped to mid off, well bowled, well done the Knights and the Eastern Storm. Well bowled out for 122. So Shinta, you would feel that that is way below par.
Look, I think it is well below par. I think the Eastern Storm will look to come hard here, try to defend the score, because you never know in cricket what can happen. Give them a fighting chance, obviously wanting to take some wickets early in the power play, but you got to say that's an excellent bowling and fielding performance from the Knights from the get-go. Already set the standard there with the run out in the early stages of the innings, and I think they've done exceptionally well with a couple of standout bowling performances from Langa, Piet, and I think they should be very proud of themselves and the camp.
Yeah, I think the Knights camp, they will be very happy with the efforts. I do think that is well below par. The Eastern Storm, they're gonna need to take early wickets to kind of try and put any pressure on the Knights in this chase of 123 runs, you would feel. But yeah, that was a good, as you said, fielding display as well. Good catches on the boundary by Pat Puerta and Isaac de Gale. Mentioned a brilliant run out also from Isaac de Gale. So well done, the Knights. They require another 123 in this chase as we'll return back shortly before the chase starts. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers and listeners, to the CSA T20 Challenge Division 2 match between the ITEC Knights and the Eastern Storm. Earlier today, if you're just tuning in, the Eastern Storm, they won the toss and elected to bat first in the first innings, and they only mustered 122, which you would say is well below par. It was a well below par effort in their batting performance. So the Knights did field and bowled tremendously well to restrict them only to 122 runs. As we'll see the chase that's going to start soon. First ball that's going to be bowled by Devan Postumus. He's going to bowl from the Loch Logan end, and batters for the ITEC Knights is currently on strike is destructive Jacques Snyman, and opening with him, world of experience on the other side is Gian Kluter. Eastern Storm, they starting with a slip in play, as well as a third man in a deep square, as well as mid-wicket being vacant. It's kind of a template field these days inside the power play for T20 cricket. As here we go, first ball off the Knights' chase. Postumus to Snyman, good length delivery, outside off, no run.
Good afternoon to all our viewers here. Thank you, Aya, for that wonderful introduction. Starting us off for the second innings here. Yes. Eastern Storm would look to want to put pressure here up front, get a few wickets.
Hard length, outside off, well negotiated by Snyman. Eastern Storm, they would like, they need early wickets at all to stay in this contest. Would feel like they are a good 25 runs short on this chase. Lovely afternoon here in Bloem, as we see a couple of school students again, now that it is school holidays, like I mentioned earlier. Short from Postumus, rushed Snyman a bit, landed in a vacant mid-wicket area. Now that it is school holidays, there is a couple of school students coming in. It's nice to see youngsters come out and watch the match for the Knights. It's the Knights, they need 2 more victories to be guaranteed back into Division 1. Big match here for the Knights as they clinch this one. They only need to win 1 more T20 challenge match to be promoted back into Division 1 cricket, and that will be great for Free State cricket and Bloemfontein cricket as a whole. As Kluter, he's going to face his first ball. Postumus, he's steaming in from the Loch Logan end. Nice full and swinging, and Kluter takes a scapit single.
Postumus already getting a bit of swing there, tailing back into the left-hander. Storm would look for some early inroads here to put some pressure on the Knights batters of Snyman and Kluter. Snyman of another beautiful innings in his previous knock, would like to carry that form.
Good shape away there from Postumus. Slip has been taken out, been placed at mid-wicket. Yes, that's Jacques Snyman is in incredible form. 2 good scores so far in this T20 challenge. He has been hitting them well, and the Knights, as always, they would like to get off to a fast start here in the mandatory power play of 2 fielders outside of the ring. Postumus is bowling the last ball off this first over. It's pulled away, and that went to the boundary like a tracer bullet. Can't earn line to Jacques Snyman inside a power play. It was a good over up until then, and Postumus unfortunately strained in his line, and 4 bucks to Jacques Snyman, 6 without loss.
Beautiful shot by Snyman. Pulled just behind square there. Square leg, deep square leg, thought he had a chance, but that was off there like a tracer bullet.
So we see Rasemane, who has played here before for Free State back in the days of amateur cricket. He's going to bowl from the Willows end as he's running into Klute. We've got third man in a deep square, mid-wicket in place, no slips. Klute pulls that in front of square, nice and calmly with the world's time. Rasemane, he's not going to be able to bowl that length, that pace, as that looked quite comfortable for Gian Klute. He gets his innings going. Ominous signs here for the Knights quite early in this innings.
Looks like Klute was reading a book while playing that shot. He had so much time there in front of square, 4 runs. Good momentum here for the Knights.
Yeah, Eastern Storm down at a pump quite early in this innings, short and wide and missed from Klute. That is a strength from Gian Klute, is wide outside off, but he has been missing out lately on that shot, and it is a shot when he is in form, he scores easily, and when he's out of form, he misses out. So that's normally how it goes, isn't it, Sachin, does the batter?
Yes, that is true. That is true. I think it's important to realize, when you're hitting the ball well, to try and capitalize on your momentum, set a big score, ensure that you have a good season.
Rasemane from the Willows end. He's bowling the third ball of the second over, short and wide again. Bottom edged from Klute. He really missed out there. So Rasemane, he's not hitting his straps here. 3 short balls in a row.
What do you think, would the two batters' mindset be here with chasing a score of 122? What do you think is going in their minds?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sachin. I think a clear strategy here from the Knights throughout their batting lineup is short again from Rasemane. Is the natural variation of the right-hand, left-hand combination, and that, in a way, that enables batters just to play, because it kind of, not that you want it as a bowler, but it does equal out in a more loose deliveries as a bowler can't get settled. So I think, to be quite honest, I think they're just going to play their game, play their way as if they were setting a score, instead of chasing a score, and they would look to get going as Klute eventually gets hold of one, short and wide. I must say, Rasemane, very odd first over here, 4 short balls in a row. Klute missed out on 2 anyway, as Klute, he gets another boundary. Yeah, and I think Sash, they're going to break the neck of this chase soon, aren't they? They would like for this match, basically, look, a cricket match is never over until it's over, but they would like to be, when a power play is done, should be quite adjacent that this match will be over, and that's actually an opportunity for the Eastern Storm if they bowl better. Oh, that's a great shot by Gian Klute on the up. Wasn't that wide, but he used the talent of his hands there to squeeze a ball through the covers. Great shot for $4.
Rasemane dishing some on a plate for Klute. Here you go, son. Enjoy yourself. Feast yourself on a couple of boundaries.
Yeah, not the first over Andrew Rasemane and the Eastern Storm was hoping for. Very loose. They would, think they need a tight start here with amounts of energy, effort and intent. Certainly not the case here. And this first over is Stephen Possimus. He runs in from the Loch Logan end to Simon. Straight. Strongly hit shot there from Jacques Simon to mid-on. That's a good shot, isn't that, Sash? It's not a boundary, and we sometimes get, as commentators, we only speak about the boundaries, but that's a dot, but it still deserves, that's a shot worth mentioning.
Yes, and I think something that's important about that shot was the intent behind the shot. And that already gives a statement. As you can see, the fielder has just changed the position, perhaps maybe off the dot.
Exactly. Possimus, he's quite short. Simon picks it up soon. Quite early, excuse me. comes back for 2.
Just something that to point out what you mentioned, I think, was the fact that you shouldn't really change your game. Play as if you are setting the score, and I think that's evident in the way these two are batting, and that's good.
It just frees yourself up mentally, doesn't it? Take the scoreboard out of the equation, and that's exactly how Snyman's going to play. That's another good shot straight to mid-off. Could have been 1, but Snyman's happy to stay on strike. God, just that first ball off the over, a strong shot to mid-on. Bowler immediately under pressure, even though it was a dot and it wasn't a bad ball. He challenged Snyman's stumps. If you can play a shot like that, you inform. Nice balance out of the middle of the bat, halfway through this third over. Here goes Posthumous. Snyman. It's into square leg, out to square leg for 1.
And with this intent, I think from a bowler's perspective, it seems as if already almost feeling like they're going for these death lengths, not being able to, bowl that hard length outside off, seeing the intent shown by the batsman, and just by intent cause changing the mindset of the bowler.
Into the pads, Klitte, he flicks it away out to deep square, only 1. I agree, Sash. Just by overall intent by the Knights batters, as we said, that first ball of the over, they didn't even go for 4, but just that aggressive intent, you get the feel already that the Eastern Storm, they just want to get through this power play unscathed, and that's obviously not going to happen if that's your mindset. Because if that's your defensive mindset, you're going to get attacked.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to defend and somebody needs to attack. As Snyman, he runs it well to third man.
Beautiful. Good touch play by Snyman. I think that's something that's quite impressive of his game, as we saw early on in his innings, where he, as we can see, is a powerful hitter, but his touch game is also something that's contributing to the way he's batting. Excellent shot there for 2.
Yeah, I think why he had success this season is he didn't only had one way of playing. He could change between gears, and that's only able if you can make. You can only enable yourself to change between gears if you make good decisions, and that's what has been is Rasimani. He's going to continue from the Willows end. It's a sign of a good batter. If you're going well, but you can still make good decisions from good balls. So to see from Jark's name on, he's a player who really cares about his game. He takes care of his game. He works hard. He's a good team oak. Rasimane full and straight. Klitte will feel he missed out there. Maybe just sat a bit back because the previous over was basically 6 short balls in a row.
Definitely, it seems like Klitte was a little bit on his heels there. Would have liked to capitalize on that full ball. Rasimane a bit expensive in his first over. 12 runs off it. Would like to come back here in his second.
Oh, it's a brilliant shot. Wide, outside off, and Klitte, he's not going to miss out on those.
Bread and butter, as they say it. 4 runs, great shot from Klitte.
Dion Klitte took that off up quite quickly, and wide outside off. Klitte used again the talents of his hands, and he smoked that through the covers. 4 more for the Knights and Klitte. Knights are going strong. Eastern Storm under immense pressure here as the Knights say 28 without loss. Rasimane, he's feeling the pressure here. Full, that's a great shot again from Klitte. He works it out to the onside. Oh, that's great fielding there on the deep square boundary. Definitely saved 2 runs there. So another good shot from Klitte.
Great fielding there by the fielder at deep square. Covered a lot of ground. Definitely saved his side 2 runs there.
Yeah, just back to that point, Sachinta, of intent and defensive. You know, as I said, somebody needs to attack and somebody needs to defend. And if you don't get it right that first 10 balls of a cricket match, you're either going to be defending for a long time to get the pressure back maybe, or you're going to keep on attacking for a while and hopefully stay with that and keep all onto the game as the Knights would like now for the rest of the innings. For the rest of the innings, it can only be the Eastern Storm basically defending this match and hoping a couple of wickets fall.
Definitely. Definitely, good point. I think just showing the intent from the batsmen. Bowlers sticking to their game plans here and obviously would want a couple of wickets here up front, but looks like the Knights are cruising here.
Rasamani, he's bowling the fifth ball of the fourth over to Kluter, cramps him for room. That's more the line and length you need to bowl to Kluter. He likes width, so you need to kind of cramp him. It's a better line and length overall from Rasamani. That was lacking the first over. Yes, Snyman, he's going to face his first ball for the first time in this innings at the Loch Logan end. Rasamani, he's bowling with a third man and a deep square. Fielding change here. Quite a lengthy delay. Third man comes into the ring, finally goes out. Samani, he's probably going to try and cramp the swinging arc here of Jog Snyman. Offside field is totally up. He can't afford to bowl here outside off. Yeah, trying to cramp Jog Snyman out up there down leg. Wide being signal down leg.
Question is, where are the Storm going to find a wicket here? They really need to make a breakthrough, get some inroads, create a bit of panic here by the Knights dressing room. The question is, who's going to stand up?
There we go, last ball of the fourth over. Short as Snyman helps it to find leg for one. Yeah, look, I think Sash out of this position, Eastern Storm is probably not going to defend the score, in the 20 overs. So might as well try and take wickets from you on out and try and, I see no point in trying to stretch the game out. I think if they would look to stretch the game out, it's only going to go to 17 overs and you still lose the game anyway then.
Yeah.
So might as well try and make a couple of things happen here.
Yeah.
Lose the game in 17 overs, so we lose it in 15 overs while trying to win the game.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Already they're making a move here with spin coming into the attack, introduced in the power play. Andre Leber bowling around the wicket.
He replaces Divan Postimus from the Loch Logan end. Steinman, he's on strike. He's bowling around the wickets, no mid wicket. That was hit hard.
Oh yeah, as a off spinner yourself, also similar to what Leber is coming here, bowling around the wicket. I know that you playing along with you for a while. What would you be targeting here? How would you get one of these two out?
Snowman, he just squeezes it to short for it. Yeah, Sash, I never liked bowling. I never enjoyed to come on and bowl. Meaning, I needed to start the game. I needed to be the surprise element for the batting team. I felt if I could bowl the first over of the innings and get it underway, then if I bowl another over in the power play, they're going to need to make a play to take me on, and that's going to bring me into the game to take a wicket. But I feel on this occasion, it's almost like they're using now the off spinner as kind of a wild card to take a wicket.
Yes.
But the batters are quite set already anyway, so there's no surprise. It's the 5th over of the power play, and there's no surprise element, so the batters can basically sit back, because it will be difficult to take a wicket. The ball's not really going to spin because it's still hard and new. As we see, Snyman, he pops it over Middle's head, and good fielding there on the boundary by Middle, who ran back, cutting it down to only 2. But you have to actually answer your questions, I think, Dave. The basic principle is you can't leave the stumps here. If you leave the stumps, especially outside off, with the ball skidding on, it's runs like we just saw, because the offside field is up. A lot of people feel bowling in a power play you need to dart it in, but I always felt because the ball is hard and new, I'll actually take the pace off, because the natural condition of the ball, that's already pace on because it's hard and new. Yeah. So I felt, let the batter, especially on a big field like this, let the batter that's well bowled, let the batter make the play and generate the pace. Yeah. And it was pretty basic. You needed to hit the stumps, you have your long on out, you have your cow out, and you ask the batter to make a play from Brilliant. There. And actually your only concern, Sashita, if the ball is not turning, is to win the battle between you and the batter. Meaning to bowl as many dots as possible. Yeah. And if the batter then, because we all know, cricket's a funny game. Yeah. As soon as you bowl a couple of dots, the batter, he grips his bat a bit more tightly. Yeah. Yeah. And you start making silly mistakes, or you run past one, and that's how you kind of buy a wicket, by building pressure. Yes. So I think number one, you need to understand that it's a very unselfish role. Yeah. Because you're not bowling to take wickets, you're bowling to bowl dots. Yes. Exactly. And if you can get that right for the team, then maybe you see mistakes to wickets, or maybe the odd day you're lucky. 2 out of 10 days you're lucky and you pick up the wickets. Yeah. But you need to realize that and take pride in that role. And that's what I must say, Leander Libbe, as we see a bowling changes in Corbu, he comes up from the Willows end. Leander Libbe, quite good over there. He didn't, nothing too extravagant. That one ball to Snyman, which Snyman played very well, probably on 4th or 5th stump. Yeah. Further on, it was nice and tidy at the stumps. Brilliant. Forcing the batter to hit the ball down the ground. So
I love the simplicity of your plan, especially opening the bowling. I think 2 things that stood out for me were attacking the stumps and not really needing to bowl fast or quick, slowing it a bit down with the ball doing its natural variation. Love that.
Yeah, I always felt when the ball has LBW shot, but that's never out. It's like a leg by. I felt as the ball actually got older and softer, I could bowl a bit quicker because it's going to turn. Yes. And it's always a bit more, I feel it's a bit more difficult probably to play, if the ball turns, a ball that's turning quickly than a ball that's turning slowly. As in Corbu, he's bowling with a deep mid-wicket and a deep square. His ball is tailing in back to Snyman, that's too full, that's over his head, that's a great shot. Another sign if a batter's in good form, he hits a ball straight as a die, straight over the bowler's head, and 4 more to Snyman. The Knights are well on their way here.
Beautiful shot by Snyman. Just really playing timing there. Knights are really cruising this game, 44 for no loss after 5, and this is exactly what we spoke about, approaching the game in the first 6 overs with this intent.
Corbu is bowling without a mid-wicket, short for order. It's mistimed. Fielder backtracking, that's a good catch. It's a very good catch. Good ball from the Corbu. He took the pace off. Snyman was already through with the shot, mistimed. Skyer for mid-on, who was tracking back, and a very good catch taken. As the Knights, they lose their first wicket. It's Snyman who departs for 20 of 19 balls, and the Knights 44 for 1 after 5.3 overs. New batter to the crease here for the ITEC Knights is Garner Tar. Garner Tar, of course, he's old St Andrews boy, here from Bloemfontein. As he faces his first ball from Korbu. Full and straight, speeded him in an inside edge. Ball came back. As the Knights, they lose another wicket here. Very good first ball to a new batter, challenging the stumps. First up, and Tar loses his wicket. It's first ball duck for Tar. It's the Eastern Storm. They pick up the second wicket of the innings, and maybe just a bit of pressure here on the Knights now to chase down this well below total of 123 runs. Korbu, he brought that back, shaped a bit. Tar, he looked to defend back to the bowler, and he was beaten on the inside edge. Bowled, clean bowled. It's the new batter for the Knights. It's the captain, Aubrey Swanepoel. Like to play a captain's knock here and take the Knights over the line. As the Knights, they require another 79 runs off 85 deliveries. We're into the last over here of the power play. Actually, the last ball on Korbu, he took 2 wickets now for 5 runs in his first over. So all of a sudden, there's a bit more chatter on the field, a bit more energy, a bit more intent. Last ball off the power play. Aubrey Swanepoel, he's on strike. And Korbu, he's bowling from the Willows end. He's got a deep square, deep mid wicket. No mid wicket in play. Good length delivery, top of the stumps. To finish off the power play, the Knights stay 44 for 2. You'd think that the Eastern Storm, they would like to look to keep on attacking, to try and take wickets to bowl the Knights out rather than to defend this score of 122 they posted in the first innings. Leander Libbe, he's going to continue from the Loch Logan end. Now that the power play is done, there can be 5 fielders outside of the ring, in a ring circle. Got a sweeper, long on, long off, deep mid wicket and a deep square, pretty basic. Without a mid wicket, 2 points. Leander Libbe, he's bowling to Gian Kluter. Nice and straight, that's worked into the leg side from Kluter. Again, for Swanepoel, no mid-wicket in play. Quite strange, you would feel. Maybe just to bowl a couple more dots, build more pressure for the Eastern Storm. You would feel they maybe should have just another single stopping fielder. As we see, that's quite easy to do if there's no mid-wicket. Work the ball with the spin into the vacant mid-wicket area. Swanepoel, he gets off strike. Libbe hits it hard. Was that the chance? Looking off the body language of the bowler, I think that was a chance. Kluter gave himself a bit of room. He hit it hard towards cover. Sekekune, he dived to his left, and it looked like it was a drop chance there for the Eastern Storm. It's maybe that half chances that needs to stick if you want to defend a low total. But quicker there on that occasion from Leander Libbe as Swanepoel he takes another one into that vacant but wicket area. Sliding on with the arm. Klute, he tried to upset line and the length of the bowler by moving beforehand. I say this is a quite good spell so far from Leander Libbe. Nice and tidy, tight lines. That's a bit wider. Maybe to finish out the over, short and wide. Klute takes the bait, hits it to sweeper for one. It's the end of another good over for Eastern Storm and for Leander Libbe. The Knights stay 49 for 2 after 7. They would just like to get this partnership going between Aubrey Swanepoel and Jiang Klute. So kind of stabilize the innings again. As we see another bowling change here for the Eastern Storm. So Milane into the attack from the Willows end. The Knights stay 49 for 2 after 7 as Tumelo Similani is into the attack. Left arm orthodox, bowls around the wickets. It's fumble in the field. Good running between the wickets from Jiang Klute. He spots the opportunity and he takes 2 runs. It brings up to 50 for the Knights. Good running there. Again, just that bit more experience on playing on the Mangaung Oval, knowing that a strong throw needs to come in to restrict the second run. Oh, that's a poor delivery from Tumelo Similane. Down leg, Klute helps it, pass short, fine. And that's an easy boundary to release some pressure for the ITEC Knights. They move on to 55. So Milane again into the pads, or in that instance Klute just worked it around the corner for 1 run. So Milane is bowling around the wickets for the left-hander Klute. Bowling here to Swanepoel without a mid-wicket again. Deep square in position as a boundary fielder on the leg side with a deep mid-wicket long on. Boundary fielders on the offside, quite basic again, sweep and long off. Double point. Nice and straight at the stumps and slow. Because of the slowness and the pace of the ball, Swanepoel can just rock back and hit it without any risk into the vacant mid-wicket area for 1. So Milane around the wickets again for Klute. As Klute, he climbs onto the slog sweep. There's a massive gap. Leg side boundary, quite strange field setting again. We saw this on Sunday with Limpopo as well. From Eastern Storm playing on Mangaung Oval. The ball went into a position where you would say or you would think a deep mid-wicket normally is, and well, as I said, the fielder wasn't there. Klute spotted it and he took a normal slog sweep. The bowler thought he was into play, but to his disappointment, he saw that the fielder wasn't in the correct position. And good batting, good spotting there from Jiang Klute. He moves on to 39. Good start by him. Good to see him getting some runs on the board here for the Knights. As Leander Libbe, he's going to continue. He's in the middle of a good spell here and a good battle against Gian Klute. As Sonderpool, he wanted to come through for a quick one, but Klute wasn't interested. Nice and straight from Libbe. Klute comes back for the second. And that's a run out. That is a run out. It's difficult to understand. Looked like maybe was Klute's call. And that's another wicket. Very good throw to the bowler's end. The bowler was in a great position next to the stumps. Great throw, bounce on the square, one bounce, clean gather, and that's the end of Swanepoel. He departs for 3 runs as that brings Dean Forrester to the crease. Another left-hander for the Knights. Knights 65 for 3. There may be a twist in this style of low par chase for the Knights here against the Eastern Storm here at Mangaung Oval of 123 runs. Dean Forrester, he's quite impressive white ball player. He would like to finish this game out for the Knights and take responsibility and not pass the buck to somebody else. Yeah, soft wicket there for the Knights. Aubrey Sonderpoel, he would have loved to take some responsibility and seen the team through. As we see Klute happy to let that one go through. Klute hits a power flip down the ground for 1 run. Good spell here from Leander Libbe. You can see he's really a competitor. He enjoys a battle of challenging the stumps of the batters. He wants to compete, he wants to be in their faces. And tidy spell so far from the young man. It's Forrester, he's going to face his first ball here from Leander Libbe. Forrester, he likes it standing in front of his stumps. And he works that into the vacant mid-wicket area. Well played for 1 run. So. Last ball of the 9th. Leander Libbe, he's going to conclude this over to Klute. Bowls it nice and straight. Wasn't bothered by the early feet movement of Gian Klute to disturb his line. Another good over there from Libbe. Impressive spell so far. 3 overs for 13. As the Knights, they require another 56 runs to win this CSA T20 challenge encounter between the ITEC Knights and the Eastern Storm. Lovely day here at Mangaung Oval. Another hot one, you would say, here in Bloemfontein. It's been extremely hot this last 3 weeks in Bloemfontein. Outfield in spectacular condition despite the heat. Hats must go off to the ground staff and groundsmen. It also looks a good wicket to bat on. As you see another bowling change here from the Willows end. Will be Shane Dadswell into the attack. Short, Forrester hits it into the leg side. Pushes hard for 2, but it's good fielding from Sekakune on a deep square boundary. Standard leg side field in short fine up. Deep squares out. Deep mid wicket is out, as well as a long on, as long off gets pushed out as well as a sweeper. Third man also in the ring. Standard spinners field without a mid wicket, 2 points. Full and straight from Dadswell. Kluter takes the one. So, long off comes into the ring, taking the position of mid-off. Third man goes out. Dadswell to Forrester. Crams Forrester for room on that occasion. No mid wicket in play. Good length there from Shane Dadswell. As Forrester, oh, that's a direct hit and not out. Some controversy there, as there was a direct hit. Impressive fielding from the fielder who ran in for the overthrow. Fielded the ball from at the inner ring circle, threw the ball to the keeper's end, direct hit. Forrester was turning for two. Not out is the decision. Two balls remaining in this, the 10th over. Full and straight, back to the bowler, dropped opportunity. I'd say that is a missed opportunity, you would feel. Straight back to Shane Dadswell. Last ball here off the 10th over. The Knights stay 72 for 3. Cluton strike, misses out. Short and wide, straight to the keeper. Clute will be disappointed with that. Missed out there on a short and wide delivery, as third man was up in the ring. Good over there from Dadswell, only conceding 5. Might stay halfway. Don't think we're going to go all the way in bowling all the overs out. They require 51 of 60 balls, 72 for 3. It's Leander Libber. He'll continue from the Loch Logan end. So Knights, they would like to see this chase through. Guide the team over the line is Cluton Forrester. It's Leander Libber. He's going to finish out his spell. Bowling in his 4th over. Forrester hits it straight to extra cover, no run. Another dot there by Libber. He's enjoying this contest against the left-handers. No mid-wicket. Deep square, deep mid-wicket, long on. Balls it straight a bit quicker this time. Into the vacant mid-wicket area. Again, Libber cramping the left hand is here for room. Missed out on that ball. There's no mid-wicket in play. It feels like the chase is getting a bit nervy here. As the Knights require another 50 runs or 56 deliveries. Wide outside off. Kluter missed out again. Last ball of the 11th over, Leander Libbe, impressive spell, only conceding 14 runs. He's bowling to Klute. Bowled his best ball again on that occasion, nice and straight. Klute works it into the leg side for 1, and that's the end of the 11th over, 74 for 3. The Knights, they require another 49 runs of 9 overs. So we see a bowling change here from the Willows End in Corbu. He's back into the attack. He took the wicket of Jock Simon and Garner Tar in the same over. As the Eastern Storm, they are pushing towards picking up more wickets. Good bowling change. Corbu, he's bowling with a fine leg, deep square, deep mid wicket, third man and sweeper as boundary riders. Mid on, mid off up for Jiang Klute. Klute takes one into the offside. Same field to Forrester. Mid on, mid off up in the ring. It's Corbu to Forrester. Second ball of the 12 over. Knights requiring another 48. Full and straight. Well played by Forrester. He plays it into the leg side. Only 1 run. Good fielding there at the deep mid wicket boundary to keep it down to 1 run. Short into the wicket. Well pulled by Klute. In between the two fielders. That's not a boundary for Jiang Klute. It's a miss or no communication between the two fielders there at the deep. In deep square and deep at wicket. Wasn't sure who was diving for the ball, who was not. And the result was that the ball split it to two fielders. Went for a boundary. Interesting link from Corbu, was trying to bowl there. Klute quick on the pull on that occasion, and welcome boundary to the Knights to just release some pressure and tension from this chase. So Corbu is bowling the 4th ball off the 12, full and straight. Great shot from Jiang Klute down the ground, mid on, mid off up. That's an easy boundary for Klute with this field set. It's always going to be a difficult ball to bowl. Brings up to half century for Klute. Well batted, 52 runs of 37 balls. He needs to take the team through and over the line. Good to see Klute finding some form, finding some rhythm. That was a great shot, on drive, proper. Ball was on middle stump, and he stroked it past mid on as we see a fielding change immediately. Mid on goes back to long on. Third man comes up to the ring. So Corbu is probably going to bowl a bit straight here with fine leg out, deep square, deep mid wicket and a long on. Right, bowls it short into the wicket. Klute, he ducks underneath that one. So Knights, they require only another 39 runs to win. It's always going to be a difficult ball to bowl from Corbu with his pace, with mid on and mid off up. Just got pulled for 4 in between the deep square and deep mid wicket. He felt he needed to pitch it up, and it was a great response from Klute to bring up his half century. It's the last ball of the 12 over, and Corbu to Klute. Full and straight, and he flicks it down leg. It beats the keeper. Fine leg, can't make up the space, and that's 4 more. And Corbu erred in his line there. Klute just helped it on his way, And that was 3 welcome boundaries in that over. Well batted by Gian Klute. Takes the score up to 88 for 3 after 12. The Knights, they seeking closer to another victory here. Only requiring 35 more runs to win from 48 balls. Good batting here from Gian Klute, taking some senior leadership. Not getting faced by Leander Libbe, bowling his 4 overs for 14. Well bowled by the young man. Sorry, I should say 4 overs for 15. And knew that like the previous one from Mkobu was well on his way. And he just took advantage of the field placements and the balls that was bowled. And now the Knights only needing 35 or 48. As we see a bowling change from the Lock Logan end. Shane Dadswell, he just swapped ends. Good shot there for 1 run from Dion Forrester as the Knights stay inching closer. Dadswell, he's bowling with a deep square, deep mid wicket, a long on, long off and sweep as boundary riders. No mid wicket. Basic spinners field, 2 points. Short into the wicket. Scampered single to short third. Good calling there from Forrester. Well aware that there was no pace on that delivery. It's going to take a while to get to the field and he made his ground easily. Pace off again from Dadswell into the wicket. Forrester works it. That's good calling from Klute. Good fielding. Good speed to the ball there from deep mid wicket. Klute worked it into a gap. He was looking for 2 runs, but Klute felt he was not going to get back in time. Only 1 run. Halfway through the 13th over. Knights stayed 91 for 3. Only requiring 32 more runs to chase down this well below total Eastern Storm posted of 122. Another ball into the wicket. Klute takes the handy one. Well batted. Well played by both batters here. As the field is set out. No point in hitting a ball in the air where there's no pace on. Just play the situation as it's given. Hitting the ball on the ground. Push for 2. Well done. Inching ever closer. Important to take the team over the line here for both these batters as the partnership is up to 27. Into the wicket again. Well played by Forrester. He takes another one down the ground. Last ball then off the 13th over. Good length delivery from Shane Dadswell. Not a bad over there from Dadswell as only concedes 5. Knights won't be too phased about that. They only require 30 more of 7 overs. Bowling change again from the Willows end. Tumelu Simalane back into the attack. His first over didn't go that well as his only over conceded 15. Knights might look to push out their advantage in this over. Around the wickets to Forrester. Hits it hard down the ground to long on. 1 run. Good knock so far from Forrester. He's only on 11, but he absorbed some pressure. Came in when the Knights were in a tricky spot. Again, Klute on a slog sweep. Oh, and deep square. That's poor fielding, especially at this level. Awkward bounce, but at this level, that's inexcusable. You need to get your body behind the ball. As it brings up another boundary for Gian Klute. Again, From the commentary box, it looks like a massive gap there on the leg side boundary. Very odd field setting, especially for a spinner who's got no pace on the ball. He shoots it through a bit quicker. Undercutter. Kluter works it into the offside for 1. Yeah, very foreign field setting here with deep square extremely behind square, leaving a massive gap and opportunity for easy slog sweep as a boundary. As that's the opportunity Forrester takes, and he dispatches it onto the bank. Great shot from Forrester. So Milani around the wickets into the swing arc of Dion Forrester. That's a great shot to bring up the Knights' 100. They are ever closer now to this score they need to chase down. 18 runs required. Great shot there from Dion Forrester. Oh, that's great batting. After the boundary, he takes 2 on offer. That's brilliant batting from both these batters. Low risk cricket, 2 more runs. As the Knights now, it's a canter home, only requiring 16. 1 ball to go in the 14th over. Forrester, he went again for a slog sweep on that occasion. Bottom edged it. Want to lose a wicket now, just making it a bit uncomfortable for the batter coming in. Nonetheless, they need 15 to get home. 6 overs remaining. That's well, he's going to continue from the Loch Logan end. Forrester, he looks like he wants to get this done rather quickly. Wide as Forrester goes down the ground. And an easy catch to long on again. Last question, the decision making there from Forrester. Pace off. Try and clear this boundary. Pushing for the bonus point, of course, trying to get to the total before the 16th over, but there is still 11 balls left. Before that ball was bowled, it was obviously 12 balls left, and Forrester, he holds out to long off. Good knock there from Forrester. Got the Knights out of a tricky spot for 20 runs as the new batter to the crease. It's Bat Botha. Pat Botha, he'll only go one way in this knock, and that is to ensure the bonus point victory for the Knights. Or rather looking at the 11 balls that's left before 16 overs is bowled, and the bonus point can be scored. Wide outside off. Botha takes the option to sweep it. Only, despite pushing for 2, it's only 1. Good fielding on the sweeper boundary. Knights, obviously they need to reach the total inside the 16 overs bowled, so technically they only have 9 balls to score those 14 runs off. As Kluter hits it into the gap in a leg side, brilliant shot, pace off into the wicket by Dadswell. Kluter picked his gap perfectly and hit the ball in between deep mid wicket and deep campaigner, and the Knights, they 10 runs away. Pace off again, nice and full, floaty full toss, hits it out to sweeper for 1. 2 balls remaining off this over. Knights, they require 9 to win. 7 balls for the bonus point victory. I think Pat will fancy, Pat Botha, he will fancy a boundary, release some pressure for the final over to get the bonus point. Space off into the wicket. Good single taken by Pat Botha. Wide of extra cover. 8 more runs required of 31 deliveries. That's not the balls the Knights will be looking at. They have 6 more deliveries left to get to this target to enable themselves a bonus point. Pace off and wide. And it signalled the wide as well. Here goes Datswell. Oh, Klute, he smothers it down the ground over Datswell's head. Great shot by Klute. And the Knights, they're only 3 runs away from this victory and to win with a bonus point. Great knock from Gian Klute today. He's on 72, not out. Slow ball into the wicket as Klute, he just spotted that ball over the umpire's head. Shane Datswell, he bowled these 3 overs for 22. I don't think he's going to get another one in, as this might be the last over off the game. For the Knights, have 5 deliveries left to get this 3 runs to help themselves to a bonus point victory at Mangaung Oval today. Must say the Eastern Storm, they were never up to par today, starting quite poorly with the bat. No intent in the power play. Was a lot of dots up front, and from the get-go they were behind the 8 ball as Nkobu, he's bowling from the Willows end. Pat Botha on strike. Get the feel that the match is going to be over pretty soon. Slow ball on the stumps. Great decision from Pat Botha. He taps it into the leg side. Klute wanted to come back. Well done from Klute. Good throw there from the long-on fielder. He made his ground pretty quickly. Aaron Visser. Good throw on the square. 1 bounce to the keeper. The Knights stay 2 runs away here. 4 balls left to win with a bonus point. 29 left in the innings. As Shane Datswell, the captain, he brings up mid-off into the ring. Only 2 runs required. Klute, he's on strike. Will be fitting for him to hit the winning runs here for the team. He carried his bat. He gave no chances. Good decisions. Nkobu, he follows him. Good scampered single. Only 1 run required here for the Knights. Yeah, it must be said that the Storm, they were never up to par. Visser played a good hand in the middle overs for Eastern Storm, but nobody else could really support him. Great fielding by the Knights today. Way better bowling performance as well from all the bowlers, and they restricted or bowled the Eastern Storm out for 122. That was well below par. If you look at how the wicket's playing now, you would get the feel that, say, minimum par. Pat Botha takes a quick single, and that's the game for the ITEC Knights. Easy victory for them today. Great win for the Knights as they win this CSA T20 Challenge Division 2 match by 6 wickets. Great performance by Gian Klute. He's definitely my man of the match for today. 73 runs, not out. Great knock. Good to see him finding some form in this competition. Batted really well today. Eastern Storm, they never really got enough runs. If you look at how the wicket played today and how the Knights are going about it, you always felt that 160 will be minimum. The Eastern Storm, they picked up a couple of wickets in the power play, but good knocks from Forrester and Klute. Jock Snyman again up front with an influential 20 runs, and that guided the Knights to victory today. And yeah, Eastern Storm completely outplayed. They won't be happy with their performance today, as it was below par. Hold down from Gian Kluter. He carried his bat. He took responsibility for the team. And the Knights, comfortable victors today over the Eastern Storm. Yeah, and that brings my coverage to a close for today. Thanks for joining us as we say goodbye from Mangaung Oval as the Knights. They get another victory in the CSA T20 Challenge. They need one more victory, then they are guaranteed of Division 1 cricket for next season. And they're inching ever closer as the players make their way off the field. I'll greet you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Again, result, the Knights, they win by 6 wickets against the Eastern Storm. Goodbye.